So, you've heard some things about Richmond and Monument Avenue, I'm sure. And oddly enough, I've always loved public sculpture. I can't imagine Rome, London, Paris, New York City without its sculpture. But I have recently decided that if Monument Avenue were going to be a magnet for neo-Nazis, then I too would vote to take them all down or move them. Anyway, this is a poem, a new poem. The title is How It Was, and it's from the future. The speaker in this poem remembers Monument Avenue back in the past. Monument Avenue has, going east to west, Jeb Stuart, Robert E. Lee, Jefferson Davis, Stonewall Jackson, Matthew Fontaine Maury, the Pathfinder of the Seas, and Arthur Ashe, all the way to the west. The title is How It Was, and has two epigraphs. First one's from Hebrews 12:1. Since we are surrounded by so great a crowd of witnesses, let us lay aside every weight and the sin that so easily ensnares us, and let us run with endurance the race that is set before us. That's inscribed on Arthur Ashe's statue, the very last one in the sequence. And then this short piece from St. Augustine, this short quotation from St. Augustine. The world itself can be our desert. 1. First, this caped peacock, ridiculous, romantic beard, feather in the fancy hat, rearing on his horse, turning in the saddle to the east to face, we used to say, the hospital some blocks away where he died. 2. Next, the centerpiece, nobility raised high above the rebel rabble, splendidly in control, bareheaded, humble in an aristocratic sort of way, yet not dismounted, bookish in the mountains, still on the saddlebred who would die horribly of tetanus, but who would outlive his rider, he of gray eagle stock, who bows eternally to the south. 3. Then the statesman, politician, palm up and out toward the great general back down the avenue, leaning a bit off balance, not quite trampling a book under his left foot, embraced by an arc of Doric columns, the Traitors' Exedra, over which soars a fluted shaft topped by a draped woman pointing to heaven. A figure that cannot be victory is liberty or virtue, so we used to say. 3. Further along, we come to Mr. Immovable, all hooves down, four square, unshakable, upright in the saddle, he and his horse fiercely glaring at the irritable traffic to the north, glaring forever. 4. And then the clown bald man in the chair, not really a wheelchair, who faces back east between the double line of oaks, back to the generals, back to his president, the one and only. Above his head, the mapped globe bobs on a boiling sea of shipwreck. Men and women, a dog, a bull, a horse. Fish who are not there, circle the marble base, counter relief, as are the swallows. In his left hand, a scroll, in his right, a pen. But he is not writing, he is not sketching, is staring at nothing in our world, the hair above his ears sweeping forward like waves. 5. Finally, a pill of a pedestal, white, topped with brown bronze, a thin, horseless man shows you his back, his buttocks, holding above his head a book, a tennis racket. Rising from the ground below his feet, 4 children trapped at the waist, each reaching with one hand for help, we used to say, or to fend off a blow from the racket, from the book. This man, wearing our clothes, has turned his back on the commander, on the generals, and on the politician, on the rising sun. We used to stand to his left, the south side of the street, so that the racket formed a halo round his head. He sported large spectacles, which he could lift from those children to the western horizon, direction of death, something we had long before redefined as manifest destiny.